Alright. And I should be live. Delightful. What am I doing? Right. Italy got added to Wargame Red Dragon. It's only been, what, 3 years since South Africa got added, so, yeah. It's an interesting content cycle for this game. Anyway, I have been deliberately avoiding a lot of the direct previews for Italy. Like, I know, like Razman in particular has done a bunch. The main content creators obviously have as well. Hey, Universali, how's it going? So all the pre-release stuff I haven't really watched except for, like, you know, the videos going over Eugen's unit previews. So there we go, Italia. So I'm just going to take a quick look at the Italian armory, and then I'm also going to take a look at the patch notes. I'm not quite sure I'm going to do. I probably just got the Alt tab out of the game. I don't. Anyway, so yeah, infantry or logistics, you know. Actually, there we go. Okay. I'm not sure what my screen... Okay, so my screen is going to capture my desktop. Okay, that's good. My mic is a bit patchy. Of course it is. It's been acting up for the last little while, and I have never been able to figure out what it is. I don't know if it's something with my settings, or like just the microphone itself, or the software. I don't know. Rather annoying. Is it getting like the static pops going on? Or is my voice just full on cutting out at times? Anyway, so we got pretty basic command helicopter. It's a whatever the it's a UH-1 Huey. Single engine, not a twin Huey, so it only has 4 HP. You got command jeep. It's pretty fast for a command jeep, which is nice. Pops every now and then, but seems better. I have no idea what causes that. Like, I've had this microphone now for 8 years, because I got this in 2016, I do believe. So I don't know, it could just be that the microphone's at the end of its life. I don't know. I haven't been using it all that much lately. Anyway, who else has command jeep with that? How's it compared to an Iltis? Okay, it's faster than an Iltis. Oh, is it Yugoslavia that has the fast one? Yeah, it actually looks to be the same basic vehicle. I don't know. Same stats. Got autonomy too. Anyway. So yeah, that looks like it's a decent for a command jeep. And then you got the Fiat 6614 command vehicle. 1 all-around armor. It's fast, good amphibious speed. Of course, amphibious speed is always going to be half of the off-road speed. It's not based off the IRL amphibious speeds. Yeah, so as far as 1 armor command vehicles go, it seems to be decent. What's the availability bonus for Italy? I don't know, actually. Should have looked at it. I could build an Italy deck and it will tell me probably it's probably like 20%. Or I guess if it's standalone, it might be different. Anyway, keep getting sidetracked. Yeah, pretty bog standard command infantry squad with the Beretta SMG from World War II. Yeah, pretty standard. I don't think there's been a command LVTC previously. That's tracked 1 armor, not particularly fast. Autonomy's kind of eh. Not horrible though, like 480's usable. And we got Command Leopard 182, which is not the worst command tank. The 1 top armor definitely decreases survivability against cluster munitions. What do I think is it China? Yeah, like this one's actually pretty decent as far as cheap command tanks go because it does have the 2 top armor. Anyway, back to Italy. Got a 20 point and a 30 point supply trucks, basic CH-47 cargo helicopter, and a FOB. Yeah, it's a FOB. Alright, infantry. Alrighty, the Alpini. And also, I'm going to have to apologize ahead of time for my Italian pronunciations. I don't speak Italian, and I'm not really up to date with how Italians pronounce things. Alright, so we have 70, or I guess it's 1980, so Cat C and Cat A variants. These are prototypes, so these guys have the BM-59, which is basically an M1 Garand converted to a select fire magazine fed battle rifle. I don't think they're actually like full on, I don't know enough about firearms to say if it's actually like straight up conversions of, like they took M1 Garands and modified them, or if it's like just, you know, they took the design of the M1 Garand and modified it and then built them to. Regardless, it's based on the M1 Garand. And then the M18, which is a World War II era recoilless rifle that the U.S. Army used. 57mm heats, yeah, 9 AP power that. So it can't even one shot in 1 armor, so that's going to be 2 shots against 1 armor. It's a 2 shot, 2 armor. I think that's going to be 3 shots against 2 armor. Anyway. But they do carry a good number of rounds. They are 15-man shock. Yeah, so obviously they're not going to be... Well, they do have decent range and accuracy, though. And the rate of fire is better than average for a recoilless rifle squad. I think, who else has a recoilless rifle shock squad? Japan does, I do believe. Yeah, 7 rounds versus 12 rounds. That's no... Yeah, it's... They can definitely throw out shots relatively quickly. Yeah, because 12 rounds, that's going to be more than these guys, yeah. That's, yeah, standard recoilless rifle reload rate. So I can see these guys, MG-4059, so probably stat-wise is going to be similar to the MG3. So they're going to be decent against infantry. You know, good in a forest fight. Very high accuracy on their battle rifle. Yeah, so probably good in a forest fight, not as good in a town fight. But they do have CQC on the MG3, which makes up, you know, for a lot of sins. And I'm noticing, at least, I don't know if this is just my graphics settings or card or what is it, but it seems to be some Z fighting issues on the text there. I don't know if that's Z fighting or whatever. Textures, they're not cooperating with each other. Anyway. So they have the M113A1 and the CH-47C, same with the LP90. These guys have the Breda Folgore assault rifle. 1850. Oh yeah, so it's just kind of like a Carl Gustav M2 that's traded rate of fire for more range, possibly more accuracy. Well, that's probably about the same accuracy at the same range or similar. Same MG, so yeah. These guys will actually probably be kind of a menace against vehicles. But their transport selection's not great. Coal motion? I don't know. I don't know if it's short for something. I'm not overly familiar with the Italian military of the Cold War. Assault rifle, Panzerfaust 3, so that's a good high-end AT weapon. And mini-me, good machine gun. Let's see, Fiat 6614. So this is the same one that South Korea gets, I do believe. Their KM 900. So yeah, one armor vehicle with a 50. It's pretty standard. And then we get single engine Huey, and then is that a twin Huey? Or it's probably a homegrown Italian helicopter that's based off the Huey. I'm getting pinged on Discord because of course I am. And then you got the Grifone, which is same helicopter, but it has a machine gun. And of course CH-47. Why am I getting pinged? I have to look. Okay, it's just something not relevant to the stream. Don't know how audible that was, but that was me accidentally knocking my phone off of its stand. I am a professional. Not really. I am definitely not a professional streamer. Anyway, who do we got here? A Shock, where it's just literally free, Shock Fire Support Squad, armed with the M18. Oh no, not Shock, they're regular training. Oh boy, Giga Chad. Yeah, no, I'm the exact opposite of a Giga Chad. Anyway, yeah, so once again, 1.5 HE, so I think most recoilless rifle this teams are 2. Yeah, 2. That makes sense. It's a 57mm projectile, so it's going to be smaller. Once again, obviously compared to recoilless rifle team, range is not great on this, but it does have decent accuracy. But of course, that is in part because lower range, so you get the range scaling in there. But it has the 12 rounds a minute, so you can definitely put a lot of rounds down relatively quickly compared to other recoilless rifles. And it's going to be hitting semi-reliably, 55% accuracy. So it'll be doing damage, that's going to cause, morale damage and actual physical damage, that definitely not useless, but I don't know how useful it'll be. Okay, these guys are Shock. Anyway, and they have the Fulgore, so pretty standard range for a recoilless rifle, but it has good accuracy and 18 AP, so that's good for a recoilless rifle. These guys are going to be threatening. Armed with the Beretta submachine gun. I'm pretty sure Italy had a different submachine gun that they actually used during World War, or not during the Cold War, rather than the, World War II surplus. But whatever, it's more of a minor detail thing rather than like an actual important capability. How does this compare to the Norwegian? Pretty sure it's Norway that has. Is it Sweden who has it? Might be Sweden. But there we go. Yeah. These guys were just way better because they don't have the same range, but they have better accuracy, not as much ammo, much better AP. Okay, and I inhaled something. It's making me cough. Oh yeah, so these guys look interesting. Oh, oh yeah, I didn't look at the transports for these guys. Whatever. Yeah, the Fiat VCC1 Camellino, which is just a better M113. Has 2 front and side and amphibious. This is 3 front and side, no amphibious. No IFVs for Italy by the looks of it though, which is, knew that going in from the previews. Bit of a shame, I think, you know. The Dardo, yeah, the Dardo IFV definitely falls in a very awkward position time frame wise. I think it's technically falls words. Like I think it was developed within the prototype cutoff, you know, between 1991 and 1996, but I don't think it was adopted. It was like right around the cutoff. That's, I think it's a bit of a shame. Stat wise, I think it'd be very similar to the TH495, or if I could just look at the vehicle version of it. So I'm pretty sure it'd be 3 frontal armor, 2 or 3 on the side. Has a KBA 25. It did have the option to mount tow missiles. It mounted them 2 individual tubes, kind of like 1 on each side of the turret. Not sure if it carried reloads for them though. So it'd definitely be like a 20-point IFE without the tows, and then with tows, you'd probably be looking at 25-30 point compared to a Bradley. Not saying as a 90s, it'd probably be tow 2s, but I don't know for certain. So it'd probably be a 30-point IFE most likely if it had tows, but whatever. It's not in the game, so it doesn't matter. Alright. Fanteria de Linea, however the fell that's supposed to be pronounced. De Linea? Linea? Whatever. Fanteria. These are basic line infantry, BM-59, and 20A1 Super Bazooka, NG-4259. Yeah, it checks out. Italy rocking that World War II look up until the 80s and 90s. Transport-wise, you know, the Fiat's not the worst wheeled transport, but not the greatest. M113, M1's basic, but these are decent, you know, decent 5-point transports. 90s gets the Apilas, so that's it. These guys will be fun. 15-point line infantry with the Apilas. Basic assault rifle plus MG 4259. These guys are, you know, as far as line infantry go, these guys would be perfectly fine against other line infantry in a fight. And then against vehicles, you know, Apilas wrecks a lot of things. Gustatori, or how that's pronounced. Yeah, basic flamethrower squad. They do have the battle rifle instead of the SMG, like a lot of the engineer squads do, but you know, not like that's that big of a deal. 10-man flamethrower, not particularly useful. Standard selection of ground transports for Italy. Lagunari. These are the regular Marine squad. So yeah, same basic loadout as the Fanteria de Linea, the line infantry, different selection of transports, and they're 15-man. So these guys would be interesting. Obviously, the Super Bazooka is not very good. They do get the LVTP 7. No 90s version. You got the Moro, which are their shock marines. They get the RL-100 Blindicide, which I think that's like, that's Belgian. I think it's, well, Belgian French is what, well, it's from Belgian. The name is in Belgian French. I just think it means like tank killer or something like that, or armor killer. It's basically a super bazooka derivative, or improved version of the super bazooka or something like that. So it's better, obviously it's better than the super bazooka. It has better penetration, better accuracy, same range. More suppression because it is a bigger projectile. Interesting how the super bazooka has an 83mm projectile in game. That's, I've never noticed that before. It should be 90mm, if I'm not mistaken. Transports, M113, VCN, the LVTP, pretty standard. They don't get the Fiat though, so they're completely tracked. The 90s at the Apulas. These are there. Oh yeah, they're a 10-man shock squad. Okay. Oh, yeah, I just noticed race for 15. So yeah, they're basically blue for moat shooting, which is neat. They're going to be spammy, but they're only available Marines, so they're not going to be abused in like most, blue, just straight blue decks, unless they're doing blue Marines, which is not unheard of, but not that common either. These guys have AR-70, and these guys are AR-70-90, which I think is just the carbine version. Don't really think it makes a different stat-wise. Or it could be a full-length rifle, just different derivative of it. Or version. Anyway. Not a lot to say there. Got Milan 1, Milan 2. And they got the full range of transports. Or, not quite the full range. They don't get the LVTP-7. Or they don't get the Chinook. But then again, transporting the 2-man squad in a Chinook is always funny. That's just the exact opposite of a clown car. But yeah, not a lot to say here. They're Milan teams. Milan F1 is cheap. Accuracy is not great, but 17 AP at 10 points can do some work. That one-shot 3 armor. But, not very reliably. Milan 2, a little bit more reliable. Same range, much better AP. It can actually do some damage when it hits, which of course is the big thing with the Milan 2 is, if it feels like hitting. Alrighty, how the hell is this pronounced? Paracadutisti. They're airborne shock, so you can be able to motorize an airborne. Actually, I didn't look at the availability of these guys. They're Marines and support and mechanized. Oh yeah. Transport's pretty wide range. They don't get the base M113, but why would you take the base M113 when you get these guys? The VCC-1 and the VCC-1 Camelino Mark III. What about the Camelino? Oh boy. It's been a while since I've done this. Oh yeah, so Super Bazooka. They got the... Yep. It's the carbine version, so it has better accuracy. Anyway. Not get too lost doing stat comparisons. Especially since I keep forgetting to do the pin. So yeah, once again, these are blue, I think I actually referred to... Okay, so we got 2 different versions of blue Malt Schützen. Interesting. 15-point shock. Point shock, which makes sense. Italy used the Super Bazooka a lot. And these guys get Apulas. Yeah. not a whole lot else to say. They get helicopters and track transports, and motorized airborne for 90, and then these guys are motorized and airborne. Okay. Interesting that the... Am I just looking at, or is it looking at the wrong stats? Motorized and airborne, yeah. Interesting they get tracked units, or track transports. I'd have to look at what Italy gets for different... Actually, I can look at the... What are you available in? Tracked man, Marines, support, mechanized, armored. So these guys are just straight up have card types that are only available in a non-spec deck. Interesting. Risovisti, battle rifle and super bazooka. Pretty standard, 10 man, 5 points, only available in the base M113. And then for man pads, you just get the Stinger and Cat B. Pretty standard for man pads. Okay, support. Oh boy. Should have installed the armory tool, but I never got around to reinstalling it. Napalm. Alrighty. These guys are HE. I think they fire half salvos. I think I remember seeing that somewhere. M270 with the HE rounds, so it's going to be like the French one. Not like the German or the British with their cluster munitions, or the US with the ATACM super cluster. IHawk and IHawk 2. So this one's, 60 points. It's decent. Obviously off-road mobility is not great. This one, same mobility problems, but better accuracy, better same range against planes, much better range against helicopters, which is not useless. Like, it can be very useful to whack a helicopter from 3,300 meters away, but a bit more of a niche use for it. Alrighty, 81 millimeter, 107 millimeter, and 120 millimeter. I think the previews specified that this base is the same one as the French 120. So yeah, it has better accuracy compared to other ones. West Germany. Yeah, they have the same stats. Doesn't carry as much ammunition as the German one. Yeah, better accuracy or dispersion. And shoots a little faster, which can be helpful for shooting and scooting. Avoiding counter battery. Oh, once again, there's appears to be Z fighting on the windshield. Probably uses a base model truck with glass, and then they put the armor texture over top, and it's not layered properly. Anyway, some motors. Then we got the quad M2 Browning in the back of a truck, as you do. Side M25, which is interesting little non-radar self-propelled anti-aircraft gun. Accuracy is not great, but it's also not that expensive. No stabilizer, once again, only 35 points, no radar. Range is not great, but once again, 35 points, no radar. You just, obviously you can't zone out helicopters as easily with it, but no radar. It's relatively inexpensive. You can spread them around and hope the helicopters, wander into range. Only one armor. It's based on the M113. Ah, yes, interesting unit. I wonder what the salvo's like on that. And then we got the OF-40 automatic, which that has a surprising amount of frontal armor. I think the base automatic's only 3. Or not the base automatic, but the Leopard 1 automatic that Denmark has. Yep. So that's still not enough to survive really any of the common anti-radiation missiles. Because our 20 AP on the low end. So that would still one-shot this guy. That's on. To be honest, though, that's. And this is something I was worried about from the previews. You know, usually, oh yeah, it's, you know, OF40 is better armored than the Leopard 1. It's like, yeah. On the frontal arc, that's a technicality. Because obviously the armor difference between this and the Danish one's only coming from the hull. And the OF40 hull is not that much better armored than the Leopard 1 frontal hull. Like, it's literally like the only difference is going to be this is slightly more, you know, slightly higher angle than the Leopard 1. So, like, yeah, if you wanted to give it better armor, it should have 4, not 6, but whatever. It's not that big of a deal. Side armor, I don't know. They're not well armored from the side either. You have the Leopard 1 and then you have the Italian Leopard 1. It's not going to be well armored. Anyway, 50 point M109 and 100 point M109. Pretty standard stuff. Got the M107, I do believe is what this one is, with the 175mm gun. And the M109A2. Personally, I prefer the base, or not the base M110A2, not M109. So yeah, I prefer the base M110. Slightly cheaper, worse range and dispersion though. But it's just, if I recall correctly, it's very cheap to resupply compared to the A2, but maybe that's something that changed in the patch, who knows. Spada Aspide. Aspide? Aspide? I don't know. Spada? Only 5 HP, no armor. Decent off-road speed. Good autonomy. Previews compared this to the NASAMS. It's much cheaper. It is guided, not fire and forget. Same range, worse accuracy, same HE. I mean, this doesn't seem to be a horrible AA piece. Very mid-range. Actually, I think stat-wise it's probably going to be similar to OSA's. All right, Norway has a cluster M2 or M270. Anyway, USSR. Yeah, it's yeah, performance-wise, it looks like it's very similar to an OSA AKM, just slightly worse accuracy. And weaker platform. Both have no armor, but this only has 5 HE or 5 HP, so you know, mortars are probably going to menace this thing if it gets found out. Tanks, you got Leopard 1A2, you know, it's Leopard 1. 2 kilometer range, 1925 meter range, basically 2 kilometers, 45% accuracy, 35% stabilizer, 11 AP, 3 HE, yeah. We've all seen this one. I'm trying to think of who. I think does Germany? Yeah, Germany has a Leopard 1A2. It is what it is. It's a cheap Cat C tank. I like how the C1 Ariete is right there. This is a. Let's see. This gives me strong STRV 121 vibes. Yeah, I think it's actually almost identical stat-wise. More machine guns, though. But, you know, 50 and the MG42, that's not a bad combination. Not very good side armor in the Ariete, which is, yeah, not surprising. It's not it is not a super well-armored tank compared to its contemporaries. So I keep forgetting to look at the prototyping and availability on units. I want to go back to Italy. Prototype, not prototype, so support and armored, motorized support, motorized and support, yep, seems makes sense. Marines, motorized support, mechanized, armored, Marines, motorized support, mechanized and armored, yep. No, that's not motorized. Oh, it's motorized. Yeah. So that's basically everybody gets the 81. Looks like everybody gets the 107. Not so much on the 120. Airbar doesn't get anything. I don't even know what a Dex Italy gets. I think basically probably everybody gets this one. Yeah, looks like everybody gets Sidam. This is just support mechanized and armored. Support armor, yeah. Probably the same deal here. Yeah. Yeah, just the heavies and the support gets this. How about this? Probably motorized airborne support. Yep. So mechanized and armor don't get this, which checks out. It's wheeled. Alright, back to tanks. So we got Leopard 1A2, C1 Ariete, M47. I mean, for a 15-point tank, it's actually not that bad. Like, its off-road speed's not great, but it's decent autonomy. Gun is sort of punchy for the price. Rate of fire is not very good, though. Probably the only major letdown. Has a 50, always a plus. M60A1, obviously not a great tank. They're slow. Their armor is like not terrible for the price, but not great either. Gun's not amazing, no stabilizer. M60A1, it's better for 60 points. It's alright. I have to compare it to what obviously the gold standard for the 60-ish point tanks would be the Leopard 1A5. How does this compare? This is obviously more recent tanks, so it might get better AP. Nope, same AP. M2 Browning's better than MG3. Gun's basically the same except for the stabilizer. Better armor. I say this isn't horrible. Obviously the speed's not great. M60. But for 60 points it's not the worst either. But the speed it can situationally get you in trouble with the tank. OF40, which has 8 frontal armor, which so like the hull armor, like I said, the hull armor is basically slightly better than Leopard 1A2. The turret has spaced armor elements in it on the front and side. Obviously, there's spaced armor elements on the front of the Leopard one because of the mantlet, but not as extensive as it is on the OF40. So yeah, this is basically just a slightly better Leopard 1A2 by the looks of it. Slightly slower. Better gun. No stabilizer though. I mean, 50% accuracy on a 35-point tank's not bad though. 13 AP. Now we get the stabilizer in much better range. These are all prototypes. Yep. Mark IIA. Just a, let's see, 82, 83. Okay, so it's just a more recent tank. Not a very good stabilizer for 50-point tank. Not terrible either. This one, basically, yeah, looks like a slightly worse Leopard 1A5. Worse armor than a Leopard 1A5, of course. Then again, the Leopard 1A5 has too much armor than it has, or has more armor than it should. Yeah, overall, pretty comparable, just not as well protected and a little bit slower. And then we have the Mark III, which is that the turret from the Ariete? That looks like the turret from the Ariete. Yeah, it looks like it has the same machine gun arrangement. Yep. So 85 points, 13 armor at 85 points is not bad, not great. Side armor is obviously lacking. Good gun performance though, so it gives me strong T72 M1 PAVE, whatever, vibes. Not as extreme though. worse pen, better or worse accuracy, better stabs, much worse AP. Yeah, it's kind of, it's a glass cannon sort of tank. It's interesting. Interesting tank tab. And it's available motorized. These guys are probably all motorized. These guys will be. These guys motorized? No. Apparently M60s are not motorized tanks. Could have sworn that US motorized got them. Maybe I'm misremembering. Let's look at the army ones. Yeah, the army ones aren't motorized. Not a big deal. Recon, here we go. Alright, so we got some sort of helicopter, unarmed. 6 HP, speed. That's 55 points is not horrible. This one has the 50 caliber gun pods and some folding fin aerial rockets, which are worse Hydras. That actually is not very good. 60 points is not bad. Speed's not horrible. Very good optics, no stealth though, but that's, whatever. It's nice to have, not mandatory. But it does allow you to get, do some sneaky breaky stuff. And then we have single Huey, or is that not a Huey at all? That's looks like a Kiowa, OH-58 or whatever. Yeah, OH-58. Or is it? I don't know. I'm not the most knowledgeable with helicopters, and then that looks like a navalized twin Huey. Exceptional optics, alright, because that's like radar or whatever going on. Scout Jeep with 50 cal. Very good, very good. I'm pretty sure the Canadian Scout Jeep has exceptional optics. It's like the only exceptional optics units that Canada gets. Yeah, it's a Scout. It's funny. Actually, they think these guys are exceptional. Oh no, they're very good optics. Yeah, I don't know why the exceptional optics Jeep. It's not useful whatsoever. Terrible availability too. Bersaglieri. If I recall correctly, these guys are like the Italian mechanized infantry unit, and then decided to make them scouts. Guess I have to do something without the Dardo. Anyway, they get the M72 Law, BM59, MG42. Pretty bog standard shock recon team. There are ones that have better. I think most of them you have equal or better anti-tank. Tom Subin, MG or SMG, Breda Fagore. These are 85. These guys, 75. What's this one? 88, 88, 68, 83, 70, and 75. Okay. Get the truck, and then these guys get whatever the hell that thing is. That's a recon transport. Interesting. And it looks like they get, BCC-1, the Mark III, blah, blah, blah. Get the medium helicopters. These guys get the medium helicopters plus the big helicopter. Let me guess, what are these guys available in? Motorized and support, mechanized, armored. Interesting, because if I recall correctly, a lot of mechanized and armored decks don't get this sort of recon squad, but I guess it depends. And then these guys are Marines, motorized, airborne. Checks out. Esploratori. Standard 5-man recon team. Basically available in every spec. They get the truck, the M690P Protetto, Fiat 6614, Camellino Mark III, single Huey, and then the twin Hueys, or whatever these are. They're Augusta, I think, is the manufacturer. I think nowadays it's Augusta Wayland because they merged. Alrighty. 20mm recon, very good optics. This is probably going to be similar to the German Lux A1. Slightly faster. Slightly worse autonomy. Interesting, isn't it? A bit expensive to use as like kind of like a combat recon, like you would like with a lot of the other recall or autoloaders. If you had 6616 with the 90mm, that's interesting. That's going to be, I think it's the US. Not that. What am I looking for? Could have sworn the US had a 90mm armed, or is it in the vehicle tab? There it is. Yep. Of course, this one is recon, so it gets better optics and stealth. So let's see, good optics, medium stealth. Yep, pretty standard. Actually, how does it compare to the South Korean one? It's going to be worse. There you go, KFE 90. Same price. KFE 90 has better range and accuracy and AP. Same rate of fire, slower. Obviously, it's tracked. Slightly better armor because there's one more side, and has a 50. Never underestimate a 50. And this guy, 60mm. They actually get this one HE, 1.5 HE per shot. 11 AP. It's interesting looking at it. Might be fun. Unlike the Israeli one, this one actually gets HE, doesn't it? Oh no, this one does get HE. Or maybe that's something they added in the patch. I'd have to look at the patch notes. Doing that next. So that'd be fun. It's good optics. Feels a bit expensive for a good optics unit, I feel, personally. That's just my opinion. And then Leopard 182 Recon, you know, pretty standard. How does it compare to the West German Recon Leopard? Probably better, actually, because I think that one doesn't get a machine gun. No, it doesn't, because this is a 1A1. So the 182 gets slightly better armor on the front. Same gun stats, but it does get a machine gun. Nice. I think that's probably my biggest complaint about a lot of the cheap recon tanks is that they don't get machine guns, which is why I like the Yugoslavian one, the T-55A is Vrajek, however that's pronounced. If I recall correctly, the T-55A is actually just straight up better than a lot of the Red 4 recon T-55s for basically the same price. And here we go. B1 Centauro Rico. Or is it Centauro? I'm not sure how the Italians pronounce things. Basically an Annex 10RC on steroids. Much better units. Compare the stats. So obviously for 20 more points it's going to be a much better, or it's going to be a better vehicle. Better range, better accuracy, has stabilizers, really good stabilizers. Much better AP, slightly lower rate of fire. Machine gun, same, or has slightly better armor profile just because it's one more back armor, which is situationally useful. The B1's only available motorized, but it's not prototyped, which makes sense based on its time frame. Yeah, so that's going to be a Menacing Blue Moto, possibly. Oh, it's better optics as well. Very good. So that could be interesting. At 60, At 60 points, it's a bit expensive. It's too expensive to spam, but it's still gonna be a good unit. And then we got these guys. They're the two-man sniper team. Pretty standard. They're shock. So unlike most of the two-man sniper teams, they're shock instead of elite, so they're slightly slower. Doesn't affect their stealth though. I think the only other two-man shock is the Recce. So it does put you at a slight disadvantage if you compare it to, I think, West Germany, the French SPA. But no, actually, they're slightly faster. And they also get a M72 law. Anyway. Let's see, what's their availability? Motorized and airborne, checks out. Truck, the recon transport, and helicopters. Lovely. Vehicles. All right. M40 truck, or Jeep rather, and an Ito Jeep. It's on the fast one too. That's the slower one. This is the fast one. Interesting. 30 points, so it's kind of spammable, but like all recon Jeeps or ATGM Jeeps, it's going to suffer from the fact that A, it's very fragile, B, no stealth, so as soon as it fires, it's probably going to get detected, so you might get one shot off before you take return fire. But since it's fast, you might be able to get that shot off and then retreat before, a tank or something starts shooting at you. C-13. Or C-1360 rather. So it's the HVMS, no machine gun, so it can't engage like low-flying helicopters, but it still has HE on it, so it can engage infantry. So that's going to be interesting. If I recall correctly, the C-13 hull is the predecessor to the Dardo. Like basically the Dardo IFE was developed from the C-13, if my memory serves correctly. So in this, it's two front, two sides. So maybe that's what the Dardo would have gotten if it was in the game, but whatever. And then we have the vehicle tab, Shintaro. Same gun stats and armor and whatnot. Only difference is this only has medium optics and no stealth, or poor stealth. But then again, medium optics on a vehicle tab vehicle is actually still pretty good. This one is poor optics. Yeah. So this is still going to be a fun unit. It's available in motorized and mechanized. Fieros 6 on the AR-76 chassis. Oh yeah, it's a rocket Jeep. Just spam a few rockets at close range, or relatively close range. Oh, wrong one. This one's built on the 6614. Same thing, it's just a more survivable hull, or chassis rather. And then VTC tow, so that's base M113. VTC Ito, once again single tube M113, and then this one appears to be based on the Caminillo, so it's two front side, which is handy. It's not going to help you against tanks for the most part. Might save you from being one shot at extreme range by a medium or heavy, but not a super heavy. Or did I say close range or long range? Whatever. Should help you at long range. Obviously at close range, you're just going to die. And it's tow twos, and it's the same turret as on the US one, the Wally turret. You see it on the left, AT, and as well as on the ITV. That's what it is. The improved tow vehicle, I think is what it stands for. Literally the same stats. Like it's the tow Under Armour. I was unaware that Italy used that terminology. I know that's like a very Canadian name. Yeah. Tow Under Armour. Different turret though. This is same one that the Norwegians use. Norway, I can recognize flags. Anyway, getting sidetracked. Not a whole lot going on in the vehicle tab, but honestly, it looks like most of their options are like not bad. Obviously pretty basic tow launchers. This one's the tow Jeep and the tow 2 VCC. The two, those are going to be situationally useful, like a lot of tow 2 carriers. These guys are interesting. Just, go and fire some rockets. The C-1360 is, and it's a unit that I kind of want to check out just to see what it's like. But obviously the Centaur is going to be the star of the vehicle tab. Helicopters, no transports. All right, we got the AB-205 Nemi. I don't know. That has twin miniguns and the folding fin aerial rockets. So that's going to be like this guy. Except it doesn't have heat. It's not the heat rockets. I think the Anzacs have something similar. Once again, they're only folding fin aerial rockets, so they're terrible stats. Oh, it's Anzac. Yeah, the Bush Ranger, that's what it is. Which is also the heat rockets, because it has CRV-7s. What else? I mean, for 25 points, it's an interesting gunship. Not very fast or survivable, but, under the right circumstances, it can get up to shenanigans. A109AT. So it's a ITO launcher, 40.6 strength, so that's interesting. It's a cheap ITO carrier. Sometimes that's all you need. Then you got the A129 Mangusta. Once again, folding fin aerial rockets, not a lot of them, so that's kind of but it has tow 2s, 8 of them, no machine gun or autocannon. Has 1 front and side armor, 8 strength. Speed is 280, so obviously the comparison is going to pull me towards the Apache, but it's a lot less expensive. I think the stats are also pretty similar, yeah. And it's worse autonomy, slightly worse autonomy, or no, slightly better autonomy than the Apache. It's just the folding fin aerial rocket, like you can see, they're just worse Hydras. Slightly worse accuracy, slightly worse stabilizer. And it doesn't, it carries half the number that the Apache does, but honestly, as a relatively inexpensive way to get a 8 tow 2s onto the battlefield, it's not bad. Then you got the A129 Mangusta CBT. I'm not sure what CBT means to the Italians. Anyway, it has 20mm Vulcan, so that's the same gun that's on the Cobras, or most of the Cobras. Obviously, the US Recon Tab AH-1J has the twin grenade launchers. Let's see, there you go. Finally get some Hydras, 38 of them, nice. And 2 pairs of Stingers, Stinger Cs. So, and I'll see at 80 points. It's very much. It's basically a slightly better Cesfa E. Carries less ammunition for the Vulcan, same amount of rockets, same amount of Stingers. But it just has slightly better. First of all, it's armor, which can help against ground fire if you accidentally fly too close to infantry. And it has 2 more HP, so that helps as well. So it's interesting. They're very interesting helicopters. This one's prototype. This one is not. Here we go. AV-8B Harrier. So this is going to be similar to the one that the US gets. No gun, though. Yeah, this guy. This one gets the equalizer, which does have... No, that's not the AP one. It technically has AP rounds IRL, but, whatever. Who cares in game? So yeah, they both get the E Maverick, so 30 AP, 50% accuracy, semi-active, not fire and forget. But this one gets AIM-9Ms. But it's not a horrible plane. Like 750 kilometers an hour airspeed is not the best. I do kind of like having I like the my Maverick carriers to be faster. They can just kind of come screaming in and out. Just give the enemy less time to react. But 7050 is not horrible. 30% ECM's, it's decent. It gives you decent survivability under most circumstances. And turn rate is 350, which is good. If we compare it to like a Anzac, there we go, the Kehu. Like, this thing is just too slow. That's the biggest downside for this plane. Like, it is just too slow at 600. But it does have fire and forget missiles. And actually, do they have better accuracy? I can't remember. Yeah, there's 60% accuracy. Anyway, F-104G. 10% ECM. 4 500 kilogram bombs, 2 A9Bs. 1,000 km/h airspeed. Right, I remember seeing that. Is that something they've done with all the starfighters, or is it just the Italian ones? Turn radius obviously isn't good because it's a starfighter. They don't turn. They bank with intent to turn. Anyway, so yeah, it's fast bomber, has the same bomb load as an IDS, I think. Yep. But obviously on a much less survivable chassis. Or airframe, rather. Okay, so this is the fighter version, or one of the fighter versions. It doesn't get a Vulcan, which is disappointing. I like having the gun on the cheap fighters. That way they can just kind of, after they miss with all their missiles, they can just kind of keep harassing things with their gun. We got F-Sparrows, which obviously aren't very good. And A9Bs, also not very good. It's 20% ECM though, so it's better than most starfighters in that regard, I do believe. I think most most starfighters only get 0 or 10% ECM. I don't know about how many get 20%. And then we have F-104S ASA-1. As see, very good, very good, very good. Has 30% ECM. So that's the best of any starfighter. Espide 1A, or is it Espide? I don't know. It's Italian. I think this is similar to one that the Chinese get on one of their planes, or a couple other planes. AIM-9Ls, not the best missiles, but they're not horrible. Let's see, it's 2 and 2. That was 2 and 4. Interesting that they decided to not give it 4 AIM-9s. I guess they wanted to keep the price at a certain range. I don't know. Here we go. 30% ECM. Exceptional air detection. Obviously, there's exceptional can mean. I'm pretty sure there's 2 different exceptionals in game. You have the kind of standard exceptional that most planes with exceptional air optics have, and then you have the interceptors with the exceptional air optics, like the F-14 and the MiG-31M. I don't know if the base MiG-31 gets exceptional. Maybe it does. If only I could check. Okay, it's exceptional. That exceptional, I'm pretty sure on all 3 of them, the MiG-31s and the F-14, is longer. It can see further than the standard exceptional. That's what I'm trying to say. Better. It's exceptionally exceptional. Anyway, 110 points. It's the Hydra, whatever. Basically an AMRAAM. Actually, I think it has worse range than an AMRAAM, though, by the looks of it. And accuracy. USA, save me. Steagle, there we go. Worse range and accuracy. Better AP though, or not AP, better HE. Which, yeah, that's actually good because that's going to give you a 6+4 missile combination. So if you get a hit with the Hydra and the AIM-9L, that's a kill. If there's an AMRAAM, that'd only do 9 HE damage and wouldn't get a kill unless you got a crit, obviously. How's that compared to the Italian or the Israeli one? The Derby. Worse accuracy than the Derby, but better HE. So that's an interesting plane. 110, so that's going to be available in Elite, I do believe. 2 Elite. It's like a less cancerous meme 29 that Finland gets. Alright, G91. Cheap low-end napalm bomber. Not particularly fast, terrible turn radius. You send it in to die. G91Y, what's this one? AS-20, those are semi-active missiles, 26 AP. Yeah, that's low-end anti-tank plane. MB-339, I think ADZAC gets something like this. Loaded down with rockets. Terrible time over target. No ECM. But it's a 70-point plane. Like at 70 points, yeah, you're looking at maybe 10% ECM on a plane. If you're lucky. Lots of rockets, though. Apparently this is where all those hydropods that they could have been putting on their helicopters, they put them on this thing. Also has the 127mm Zunis. A11 Ghibli, I'm not sure how that's supposed to be pronounced. This is a jet trainer / light attack plane. 115 points, 30% ECM, 900 kilometer airspeed, 400 meter turn radius, so it's basically F4F stats, or F4 Phantom stats. The F4F is a Wildcat. That's World War II plane. Anyways, Vulcan, late model Vulcan stats, GB16, so that's 15 HG power. A9Ls, it's a decent little plane. Has 2 laser guided bombs. How does that compare to the other laser guided bombs? Or is it no? Is it laser guided? So it's more HE than this guy. China has Q5D. There you go. Oh, there you go. That's probably a very good point of comparison. Yep, same HE on the missile or on the bombs. So yeah, basically an Italian version of this plane, but it's faster, which makes it a little bit better. Gun-wise, Vulcan just kind of beats up basically every other gun in air-to-air. The bombs seem to be basically the exact same stats, and the missiles are slightly better. The AIM-9L slightly better than the PL-7. All right, interesting. Well, the Q5D is not a bad plane in my opinion. So this is not a bad plane in my opinion. And now we get to the Tornadoes. A200 cluster plane. Interesting. 5 is an interesting number of cluster missiles, so it's going to be CF-18. Actually, worse than the CF-18. That's 8 versus 5, but it is cheaper. Basically, take 5 points off per bomb, apparently. And let's be honest, on these planes, the difference between the AIM-9M and the AIM-9L is kind of irrelevant in like 90% of cases. Same with the difference between the Vulcan and the Mauser BK-27. The Tornado A200 does have better air detection and better time over target, and then has same airspeed and turn. Tornado EA200B, that's basically a Tornado ECR but without the AIM-9Ls, which makes it slightly cheaper. I think it's probably going to have the same availability, which is I think 2 rookie, 1 veteran, 1 elite. I could be something like it's 2 and 1 if I recall correctly for the Tornado ECR. Or is it only 1 card of Tornado ECR? Now I can't remember. It's been too long. I have not been playing the game a lot over the last while, so my memory of all the different things is not complete. I haven't been looking at words. I have not been looking at prototype status. Oh yeah. So it doesn't have the AIM-9Ls. That is that's situationally, like for the Tornado ECR, that's like if you send it out as part of a strike package that gets intercepted, the AIM-9Ls sometimes help, help the fighter defend it, protect it, but that's situational. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Tornado ADV, that's 30% ECM. I think that puts it between the the Tornado F2 and F3 that the UK gets, I think. Yeah, because well, first of all, can't speak. Technically speaking, the F2 shouldn't get any, should not have exceptional air detection because it does not have a radar. It has concrete ballast because the radar set was not ready in time. And it was very quickly replaced by the F3, which actually does have a radar set. But that is, why did I unpin it? I keep unpinning things when I don't want to. Yeah, 5-point difference, so yeah, it's just basically the same loadout. It just has slightly worse ECM than the Tornado F3, and you know what? That's perfectly fine. Tornado F3 is a solid plane. The F2 is a solid plane. It puts in that 130. It's a very solid 130-point ASF. Alrighty, that is Italy. Sip of tea. Now what do I want to do? And now I look at the patch notes, the other really exciting part of this. Alrighty, version 1.30278 patch notes, whatever that means. I'm getting some weird flickering at the top with my stream display. That's weird. Kind of distracting, actually. Hopefully it stops doing that. Probably not. Anyway, fix the M51I Sherman's HE rate of fire to match AP1. I didn't even know it had a disparity between the two. That happens with a lot of units because the HE and the AP, like if you have like a main gun on a tank, the HE and the AP are two separate guns that just are supposed to be matched together, and sometimes there's desync between them. Like if they buff, they'll buff like the AP range, but they'll forget to do it for HE. So you get things like, like I think the North Korean T-72M for a while, it had longer range on the AP gun than the HE gun, but that's whatever. Added radar trait to both automatic and LV-KV-90's gun to prevent tempering. Okay. BG-95 sound fix localization. Yugoslav passed is Veject air optics on par with other AA units. Ram TCM, AA, blah blah blah. VAP Mistral's air optics improved. ZSU 57-2's HE accuracy to 20% to match AP1. Nice. Generic. Increased all FOBs HP from 20 to 30. Okay, that's just to make FOB sniping a little harder. Mechanized Dex infantry veterancy bonus reduced from 1 to 0. Mechanized Dex vehicle veterancy bonus increased from 1 to 2. That is interesting. So that basically makes it harder for mechanized decks to just absolutely clobber other decks in a fight. In an infantry fight. They still have the just more cards though, so that's still important. Let's see. AZP-23 Emmers reload time to 3. That's like the Soviet plane cannon, isn't it? Anyway, SPG-9, SPG-9D, and Type 68 recoilless rifle reload time to 6. So that means they now have 12 rounds a minute. The decrease the S5M helicopter rockets. So that's the 57mm rockets, which are terrible. Then, to be fair, they're pretty terrible in real life too. All right, South Africa, deck availability 20 to 30%. Commonwealth deck availability from 10 to 15. Landred availability from 15 to 20. Okay. Increased all F104 speed from 750 to 1000. That's a big change. Not just because they're not just because 750 to 1000 is big, but also like that changes how the F104s interact with helicopters. Because before, F104s at 750 were really good at whacking helicopters because they fly in, they can gun run, and they can get 2 AIM-9s off all in a single pass, so they're really good at sniping helicopters. Well, not the best, but they're pretty decent at it. At 1000, they're only going to be able to get 1 missile off. So that does definitely decrease their potential damage in a single run, is what I'm trying to say, against helicopters. But also does mean, they're faster, so they can, enemy has less time to react. RB-28 Falcons missile damage from 4 to 5. Okay, that makes sense because the RB-28 is literally the AIM-4 Falcon. So they should have the same stats. And the Falcon has 5 HE, I do believe. AGM-128 missiles AP damage from 16 to 17. AGM-122. The AGM-122, that's the sidearm, isn't it? That's on the Super Cobra. No, helicopters. Yep, AGM-122 sidearm. I guess that makes it a bit better. No one ever uses it though. And automatics gun accuracy decrease from 55 to 50. That's not that big of a change. Slight nerf. HE damage has been decreased to 2.5 from 3. Slight nerf makes it a little bit less oppressive against infantry. Anzac's heavy truck has been called the Mac MC3 as fitting model. SASR is price reduced from 35 to 30. MPB 339CB availability changed from 2 trained to 3 trained. Hey, they finally fixed the Chimera's HE damage. It's now 4 because it's supposed to be the same gun as the Challenger or the Chieftain. Same basic gun. FKP's price decrease from 35 to 30. Yeah, get a 90 from 35 to 30. That's their infantry tab elite and their recon tab elite. Danish recon M41A1 price is increased to 15. F16A block 5 price is increased to 125. Block 5. Is that their fighter or is that their? No, it's their bomber, isn't it? Yeah, it's their cluster bomber. I mean, it's 12 cluster bombs. So that's 4 more than what the CF-18 gets. Worse ECM though. Alright, France. Recon AMX 1390's prices increased from 25 to 30. I don't know. I rather like the AMX 1390 in the Recon tab. I don't really think it needed to be increased to 30, but I guess if people found the HE output on it too oppressive. Decrease Boast Tiger's stealth slightly. Decrease Mirage 5F's price to 90. Change availability to 3. 3 trained, 1 elite. Which one is the 5F? Is that there we go. Okay, it's their bomber. Decrease Mirage F1 CT's price to 130. MX 13 VTT availability change 32.20. Okay, so he knocked its availability down a step or 2. Interesting. Oh, Really coughing now. Talking too much. Israel added HVMS some HE rounds. Okay, that is something that they added. Increased price from 30 to 40 because it can now defend itself against infantry. Hey, Loliep, how's it going? It has been a while. Oh, well, you completely skipped over Germany. Decreased Tiger Stealth. Increased Martyr 2's price from 30 to 30. I don't really think the Martyr 2's price needed to be increased. HVMS. Perez front armor increased from 6 to 8. Yeah, it's not bad. Current availability is now only available on 1 hardened. Now it has 2 cards instead of 1. Hey, Vice been pretty good. That's good to hear. I'm about the same as always. Lost my truth. Gavadi and Zanim's RPG 7V is now the base RPG 7. Gavadi's price decreased to 20. Zanim's price decreased to 15. Okay, more blue 4 remote shoots him. The Zanhenian 95 is now 14. It's increased. I think it was 12 before. Bedouin's price decreased to 10. Ram TCM's price is decreased to 35. The Nets' price is increased to 125. Decreased the Ram's price to 140. Change Ram availability to 2 veteran. Oh, ooh, here we go. Chumat has been granted access to the Kyororuku WAPC and the Hachikyu Shiki as transport options. That's going to be, yeah, that's fun. That's the wheeled grenade launcher transport, and that's the Japanese IFV. Interesting. That actually might result in people taking the Type 89 more often in Blue Dragons. Anyway, granted Japanese Stinger access to Kyoroku and Hachikyu. I'm pretty the Hachikyu, that is the Type 89 IFV, isn't it? Yes, it is. That is exciting. Alright, Netherlands. Increased AMX 13 FL12 to Recon 1 30 to 35. I don't know. I'm gonna go on a limb. I don't like the price on that being increased, but that's only because I like the unit. They probably needed the price to be increased because it's pretty strong under the right circumstances, obviously. AMX PRI availability changed from being decreased a step or 2. That keeps it in line with the AMX 13 VTT, which, yeah, makes sense because it's one of the stronger 5-point transports in the game. Let's see, Norway. Reduced NASAM's aim time, but increased time between 2 shots. That's interesting. That's actually not a bad change. It gets the first shot off faster, and it's less likely to spam missiles when it's missing, which is kind of that's just one of the problems it has, is that since it fires the missiles off pretty quickly before, and if it had a bad angle on it, the plane it was attacking, it would just keep missing. Just miss all of its shots because the NASAMS has good missiles, but has weird kinematics on them, so they don't turn very well, if I recall correctly. Anyway, Norway, belt 412 speed increased to 260. Decreased KFE's 4050's price from 15 to 10. Interesting. So long time ago, the KFE 4050 was 10 points, but it only had 1 armor. They buffed it to 2 armor, but they also increased its price to 15. So now they've got the price back down. And what is with my stream display there? That just keeps flickering like that. That's weird. I've never seen that do that before. Anyway, I'm getting distracted again. Alright. Haibyong's price is being decreased to 20. That's interesting. They're a bit more spammable. MD500 Aito is now 40 points. Nice. 40 Peace Pheasant 1's price to 90. Okay, that's a big change of a call crate. That was, oh, what was it before? It's like 100 something before, if I recall correctly. I think you only got 2 of them as well. Increase K9 Thunder salvo length from 3 to 6. Okay, that's a nerf, depending on your opinion. If you want the salvo length to be twice as long, it's not bad. But the nice thing about the K9 Thunder with the 3-round salvo burst is that you could tell it to shoot somewhere and then shift Q it to move, and it'll fire the 3 rounds off quick and then move, and that just makes it harder to counter battery. So now it's going to be sitting still for longer if you're not babysitting it, which makes it a bit easier to counter battery. You have, your opponent now has a longer window of time to start aiming and shooting at it. Anyway, South Africa, Buffalo's price decreased from 25 to 20. Buffalo's availability is increased. That's the transport. Let's see, Ruicat 76, or increase both Ruicats, so the tank tab and the recon tab has been increased to 9. Okay, that's nice, because that's problem with the Ruicat before is that its rate of fire just wasn't very good. Logum now has 2 cards instead of 1. Oliphant Mark 1B Optimum has been moved to motorized. It actually makes it unique because previously Centurions weren't available in motorized, but South Africa changed it because South Africa is just a weird ass deck. Anyway, Cheetah D's availability is being basically he's got the words failing me. Goes up 1 step in veterancy, but loses 1 card at the lower end. Guess that's fair. Changed the Cheetah D2's flight altitude. Did it go up or down? Chakras price decreased to 10. Oh, added STRV-103D to motorized. That's a little bit of a buff for Sweden motorized, or Scandinavian motorized. The Scandinavian. Jeez. STRV-105's optics are medium. J37 Vigan's nose gun, or is it Vigan? I don't know. 8 and 30 to the Aken M75, increased range of 2800. Decreased the Saracen's HP from 10 to 5 and price from 10 to 5. That's interesting. That makes it. That's the Saxon. Saracen is. Or did I misread the patch note? FE603 Saracen. Which one is the Saracen? Or did they mean the Saxon? Am I just like going crazy here? Okay, there it is. Okay, it's what the territorials get. Right. I mean, yeah, that does make it relatively unique for being a 1 armor vehicle with only 5 HP. But okay. At least I figured that one out. Took me too long. Falcon's price or ammo loaded has been doubled and accuracy has been increased. That's nice. It's probably still not particularly great, but it makes it a little bit better. Let's see, Chieftain Mark 10 price is decreased to 60. Mark 11's price to 75. Jaguar GR1's availability has gone down a little. 3 instead of 4 at trained. US Marines price is being decreased to 20. Okay, that makes them less terrible. LVTP 781's price has gone to 10. Alright. That makes it consistent with the KFE 4050 because they're kind of the same thing. 2 armor with a grenade launcher. The A1 does get a 50 as well. Increased all Bradley Bushmaster's rate of fire from 207 to 300. Okay, that puts it on par with the Bushmaster 2. Then game. Increase Apache longbow Hellfire C aim time. Okay, so it's less of an instant death thing for whatever it shoots at. Decreased AV-8B and FA-18 Hornets AGM-65E Maverick salvo reload. Okay. So it just shoots the missiles off. Basically less time between if it fires the missiles. Because those are the semi-active ones. So it looks like it says 0 there. I didn't see in the patch notes what it changed it from. So I'm guessing it just, as soon as the one missile either hits or misses, it fires the second one off instantly, which is just makes it a little bit more reliable, less likely to overshoot or to overshoot its target before firing off the second missile, which can be handy. Changed the Nighthawk's availability from, basically just changes veterancy. It's now just 1 hard instead of 1 elite, which that is a nerf. Its missiles are going to be less accurate, or its bombs rather. They work like missiles though. Yeah. Slight nerf. It's still going to be annoying to deal with. It's just going to be slightly less of a reliable remover of things. Thunderbolt 2's price increased to 155. What was it before? 140? Seems a bit much. It's a situationally really annoying to deal with. So I guess that's why M113A3 availability changed. It's been decreased. Which, yeah, makes sense. It's really strong for a 5-point transport. Alright, well, first things first. BTR 60PB price decreased to 10. That's a pretty nice, because that thing's terrible at 50. Now it's just okay, or pretty average for that 10 points. Decrease RPD's reload time, so that doesn't affect all that many units. If I recall correctly, not very many units use the RPD. T55 AM variant's price down to 35. AM2's down to 50. That just makes them a little bit better, because otherwise they're not very good. MI35 ability's gone down a step. MIVP's gone down a step. Availability V has gone up a step and is being decreased in price. So it's, yeah, it makes it a bit better. Otherwise, yeah, the MI24V is just really expensive. So I read, increased vehicle mounted T21 Tarasnichi's accuracy from 20 to 4. That affects like 2-3 vehicles, I think. Decreased Soviet and DDR Tunguska price to 75. Oh, that's nice. It's kind of expensive at 85 for what it brought. BTR 80 availability is increased. East German, Yugoslav, Polish, and Czech T72M price decreased to 50. Finnish, Polish, and Czech T72M1 to 70. Increase East German, Polish, and North Korean ZSU-57-2 ground race. Okay. It's just making some of their terrible units slightly less terrible. China. Tank SSL 85 given ZSD 90. Ooh, nice. The PF 89 anti-tank weapon range reduced. Ooh, that's a nerf. Still decently strong though. It's 20 AP, 20 rounds a minute. Disposable launcher, I believe. China infantry. Who gets it? Lujan doing 90. There we go. 21 AP. So yeah, now it's a 21 AP. That's definitely a hit going down in range, but it's still gonna be pretty decent once it gets pretty good once it's within range. It's basically a better AT4. Anyway, decrease Lujan Dewey price from 25 to 20, given access to WZ551. Nice. Change its availability. Is that up or down? I can't remember what it was before. Let's see. ZDZ 59.2. It's gone to 30 from 35. 59.2A is 45. Increase ZTZ88A to 13 from 12 on its frontal armor. Decrease ZTZ63's price to 40. Increase the PTZ59 and PTZ89 main guns HE damage to 4. That's nice. Gives it better, makes it better against infantry. Main gun accuracy on the PTZ89's gone up to 60. Nice. It helps it do the tank destroyer thing a bit better. JH7's fuel capacity and time on target, I mean, increased to be on par with the JH7A. YJ7 missiles range increased to 3,500. Is that the... Oh, increased P11 missile accuracy to 50%, HE damage to 6, suppression 2. That's probably to bring it on par with the Italian Aspide missile. Whatever it was. What missile was it talking about? Was it the one on the JH7? Yeah. Okay, so this is just a little bit better now. Increased J8C's price to 115. That's the fighter, so that's probably yeah, just to compensate for the performance increase on the missile. Yeah, because before I think it was 40% accuracy. It wasn't very good. Let's see, that's CSSR, that would be Czechoslovakia. Let's see, OT64A's price. Ooh, that's gone down to 10. Haha. BVP2's price has gone down to 20. Decrease on Dava's time between shots from 8 to 6.5. Okay, that's nice, because that was the problem with the Ondava, is that it just took so long for it to fire off itself, but that's really easy to counter battery. Let's see. East Germany. DDR, the Deutsche Demokratische Republik, how that's pronounced. So anyway, Panzerjäger given access to BMPs as transport options. Nice. Decreased Vox Regiment price from 25 to 30. Like anyone's ever going to take those, even at that price. Spezialklar has been added to armored. Nice. Panzer BMP2's price has gone from 20 to 15. Okay, that's really nice. BMP2C's price is now 20. Looks like they're decreasing the price of BMPs, of BMP2s. MiG-25 RBS price being decreased. Okay, so it's slightly less of a shitty cluster bomber. Well, I mean, at 125 points, is it 8 cluster bombs on it? Oh no, it's not a cluster bomber, it's a HE bomber. I could have sworn it was a cluster bomber. Or somebody else have the cluster. MiG-25. Could be just hallucinating. Or misremembering. I mean, yeah, that's 8 500 kilogram bombs at 125 points, 30 ECM. It's not bad little bomber at that price. Still not going to see it in a non-Soviet Warsaw Pact deck though, because the thermal MiG's still right there. Alrighty. Oh, XA185KT is getting nerfed again. Less availability. Alright, what else we got? T72M1 mod. Price has been decreased to 160 and given better availability. I mean, you almost never see it. And I don't know, because it's just not as vital to Finland and Baltic fronts playstyle. You don't see them. They generally don't go very tank heavy or high-end tank heavy. But it's nice because it's 170 before, or it's 165 before. Still, it's nice because it's not bad. The Finn mod. It just has terrible stabilizer at the price. You know, 40% stabs at this end is, it's pretty bad. you know, makes it comparable to the there we go, Czechoslovakia. Moderna. Actually, even worse than Moderna. And Moderna's notorious for having just bad fire control at its price. Oh, yeah. Anyway, what else? Decrease T-72. Replace XC-185 KT and BMP-1 KT's Bushmaster 2 with a Bushmaster 1. Oh, it's a slight nerf. I guess that's why they buffed the rate of fire on the Bushmaster 2, or on the Bushmaster 1. Decrease BMP-1 KT's price to 30. Increase Hawk 51's price to 70. Okay, that thing was pretty good at 60 points. Increase XC-185 KT and BMP-1 KT ammo loadout from 180 to 300. So yeah, it's not. They can shoot for longer, and Finland vehicle. Where's the KT? There's the KT. Norway. CV9030, yeah, there we go. So yeah, it's mostly just going to be losing out on 1 AP. Oh, and this Bushmaster 2 still shoots faster though. Okay, so that's actually a kind of a substantial nerf. I think at that, with that you might, the XC-185 KT might be able to go back down to 15 and maybe be fine at that price point. With the Bushmaster 2, it was pretty oppressive at 15. At 20 points, it's hard to say. Okay, that's Finland. Geogokdai. I can never remember. I'm terrible at pronouncing the Korean names. Geogokdai. Price decrease from 25 to 20. The M1992 SPAG ability is being increased. Okay, yeah, it was like 6 and 4 before, I think. Tokshan 130 HE time. Aim time to 10 seconds. Oh, okay, that is a buff. Instead of 30 seconds, it's now 10. Can I look at? Oh, there we go. There you go. Tokshan 130. And that has pretty wide availability too, isn't it? Marine support, mechanized, armored. Yeah. Nice. I approve of that buff. Red Dragons finally has a 10-second howitzer. 10-second aim time howitzer. It's still only 130 millimeters though. So it's only gonna be 6 HE versus, was it 9 on a 155 or 152? That's 7. Okay. So it's not too bad then. It's still gonna be lacking in. I guess we compare it to its South Korean counterpart now, the K9 Thunder. There it is. Worse, much worse range. Worse dispersion at next range. Seems to have a faster rate of fire. I don't know how long its salvo length is. Let's see, an armory tool. It's handy. Probably could have set up my settings better, but who cares? Alright. MiG-29's R-27T's anti-plane range increased from 4,500 to 6,300. Price increased from 120 to 130. Veterancy changed from 3 trained, 2 elite, to 3 rookie, 2 veteran. So that is a nerf to its veterancy. But it is less terrible now overall, I do believe. Alright, what else got? Gong Bob Young and Yong Chaldai. 95, get the BTR 80A as a transport. Which ones are those? There's a North Korean flag. Alright. So, Gone Bob Young, they're the Shock Recoil's rifle team. So yeah, that's nice. Is it Jyogatai? That's their shock infantry. Alright, they're a 15-man squad, right. It looks like all of the 15-man Marines, yeah, basically all the 15, well, I guess if they're shock and 15-man, they're probably Marines in-game. Yeah, all the ones with the shitty, or the very low-level anti-tank weapon laws have gotten buffed by 5 points, which is nice. Alrighty, that's just a nice little change. Which one's the Jiang Chao Dai 95? Wait, what? Jiang Chao Dai 95. Oh. I'm just overlooking it. Or is it a typo? They probably mean the 75, not the 95. Anyway, these guys get the BTR-80A. Alright, Poland. Niebiecki Beretti's price, or let's pronounce, decreased to 20. Once again, that's like a 15-man Marine unit with an RPG-7. Decrease NTLB 23M Cracks price from 15 to 10. Oh wow, that's a unit you see so often. Scott 2A's price decrease 15 to 10. BVB2 price, that's the BMP2, it's gone to 20. 2D's price has gone to 20. Sopel's availability has been increased to 8.6. That's nice. I like the Sopel. T55 AM2 Merida's price gone to 45 from 50. That's a nice little buff. The AM2 Merida is not like wasn't horrible, but that's now a bit better. Increase M1 Wilkes price to 16, stabilizer to 40, so slight buff. M2 Wilk, same deal. Slight buff. And armor and accuracy price is increased to 125. That's fair. You get buffed, you get better stats, you get a higher price. Availability is taking a hit though, 6.4 to 5.4. Moskopota. Oh, no, we're on the Soviets now. Moskaya Pokota. Pahota, that's the Soviet Marines. They're now 20. Both variants get more ammo. Nice. Tunguska M's price has been has been decreased from 100 to 90. That's nice. It's very expensive at 100 points. DVD5 AMV's price has gone down to 55. BRDM3's price has gone to 30. BTRZD Scratchet's price has gone down, or availability has gone down. BMP2 price has gone down for BMP2 and BMP2D. MTLB Vaslik, his price has gone down. I think it was 40 before. Yugoslavia, just keeps going. We're almost at the end. Hera 2 price has been increased to 35. BVP M80A autocannon accuracy is decreased to 20. I guess that's to match it with the Czech one, I do believe. M84AN recon tank removed from mechanized deck, added to motorized instead. Base availability reduced to 3.2. I think it was 4.3 before. I mean, yeah, that's nice. Gets it out of red mech and into red moto. Gets it out of Entente mech and Yugo mech. Gets it demotorized instead, which, yeah, whatever. It's an annoying thing to deal with regardless. The PSD Zedjek's price has gone to 35, T55. Okay, they actually buff, or they nerfed the T55A Zedjek. It used to be 25, now it's 30. Alright. Ooh, I love reading. Oh, but yeah, Red Dragon's got a decent amount of buffs. God, this thing's so fucking goofy. Yeah, this thing. But yeah, I am going to take a short break so I can boil some more water for tea. And then I'll be right back. what I want to do. Create a deck. Blue 4. Italy. No coalition for Italy. Okay, 15% availability. Let's do standard, no specialization, no era. Let's do a 1v1. 1v1 Italia. Let's see. You get 5 of these instead of 4, which is nice. Let's see. Gives me 8 CVs, which is maybe a little lacking in number, but it's usable for 1v1. Fob. Let's do 2 cards with the trucks. Let's try that for now. Infantry. Alrighty. So the disappointing thing with the Alpini is that they only get, for ground transports, they only get the M113A1. Let's see these guys. Guess I'll get a card of these guys. Or I could get them in... I'm really not big on helicopter shenanigans. Let's try that. Do I want base Alpini? I forgot to check to see what types of decks or what specializations Italy can even do. That's whatever. Alrighty. Give that a try. The Milan 2 appears to have the, in their portrait, has the best singularity feather. Interesting. So these guys have AT, these guys have AT, these guys don't. These guys do. Or I don't want to go... Yeah, let's try that. Support. Let's start with the important mortar. I feel like this may be a little expensive, so I'm going to try the 107. I want to bring a howitzer, or could do the if I want to bring the M270, then I'd want to bring the fob. This guy might be able to get away running this fobless. Let's give that a try. AA. How do I want to do AA? I guess I'll give that a try. This was kind of my cheap spam. This was going to be my more, you know, longer range for, especially for anti-helo. Also, you know, automatic, it's fun. Spade, however that's pronounced. My thoughts on it, I don't know. I guess I could take the M110A2 or the M107. Problem with the M107 is its accuracy is not very good. The M110, I don't know. Have to envision what I want the unit to do. So this is good for like in a static fight. You can use this to just start bombarding, you know, static positions. This guy's more like use it to stun either an enemy that's pushing, or you stun the enemy before you push, and also does that smoke, which is always interesting in the MLRS systems. Tank. Guess 2 cards of those up vetted. Card of that. And I guess, do I want that? I don't know. Guess if I want cheap low end, that'd be the Leopard 1A2. Guess I'll stick with that. Alright, helicopters. Or recon, rather. Yeah, sure, I'll give that a try. These guys are interesting. There you go. Alright, I didn't point out before, but they are 5-man. So you do have to be careful with them. And obviously got to take the B1. I guess I'll take this as a kind of a less expensive recon option. And then I do want to try this out, but it just feels very redundant to have that and the B1. In a motorized deck, I'd definitely take it, but this is general, so... Alrighty, do I want to take anything from the vehicle tab? Kind of want to do the B1, because it looks fun. I didn't point it out when I was originally going over the deck, but like they're definitely going with like the updated, kind of the more Warno style models for the Italian ones, and they just... Very weird having, you know, these dirty, worn down models compared to, you know, kind of the standard models for Wargame, Red Dragon, which are, you know, very much more of a clean look. And just lower texture detail in general. But yeah. See, this also looks like it'd be interesting, but it can't engage helicopters, so if it had a machine gun, it could be interesting for, like, base defense, but it doesn't. Helicopters. Yeah, sure, let's take the 2 Mangustas. Air. Veteran. These guys are available on Elite. Can't take that. So it's available on 1 heart. That's what it is. Take this guy for anti-tank. That gives me 2 points to work with, or I could... What can I even take for 2? I could take a vehicle. Another helicopter. take this for the shenanigans. Guess I could take the Tua, but they're always so situational. Also, if I want, I could drop this and take a bomber. Oh, right, the Ghibli, or Ghibli. How it's supposed to be pronounced. How does that make me feel? I mean, Seed is always so situational for a 1v1 focused deck. Especially something as expensive as the Tornado. Thinking. I guess I could go with this. I don't even know if my mouse is set to the right thing. Save helps. What was that? Like, no. Let's see. Just double check. Italy. What specializations do they get? Oh, looks like they get them all: motorized, armored, support, marines, mechanized, and airborne. Italia. There are people searching ranked. And now I need to check my keybinds to see if I have the right thing set. Yeah, so I'll know that. Move fast, yep. What's reverse? Is reverse G? Yes, okay. I have the right, my mouse is set to the right settings. Do I want to do ranked? I don't know if I really want to do ranked. I used to do it all the time, but it just got really sweaty. That's the only way to describe it. Honestly, actually, I'm even tempted to just go through and like delete all these decks and just rebuild. Like some of them don't even have all of their activation points used, and also a lot of them are just dumb meme decks I built forever ago. A lot of them are redundant, just dumb. But yeah. Let's see, is this some sort of pre-made I'm walking into with this Ouroboros? Hey, Italia. It's going to be very crowded with 3 players on a map that's typically used for 1v1s. Let's see. Conquest points 750 starting through, so it's 100 points per player. I think. Is that I'm pretty sure that's how it works, yep. Let's be friendly. Hello. Income rate's medium, so that's going to be a lot of income. Oh, why are people moving over? Well, somebody fucked it. Oh, probably that guy probably clicked over to blue. It's an annoying thing that the game allows, that you can mess with the host's settings by just clicking over to the other team, even though it's not open. I really want to play as Italy, but I also don't like how this is currently a 4v2. Host is not here? Question mark? I love Lobby Simulator. And also I built it as a 1v1 deck, sort of, so I don't know how well it's going to work in a 3v3. Whatever. Hey, that's Wargame Red Dragon. There we go, he kicked the guy who moved over. You use a deck, you see how it performs, and you change it from that. You know, if a unit doesn't work out, or you find you just having a hard time with a certain situation. Okay, this Fuyu Yumi guy is not getting the message. Okay, he's left. This is the worst part of lobbies. Waiting lobbies, getting that last spot filled. Nope. Okay, there you go. Somebody. The M still number 2447. He's the bigger man, or woman, or non-binary individual. Person. Oh, I'm ready. Italian motorized. Scandi armored, interesting. Not exactly where Scandinavia's strengths lie. Then we got Chinese mech. That's gonna be tough. Yugoslavia and Soviets. Oh boy, I can't wait to get smirched. I swear to God, that's an opening smirch. I will laugh so hard. Okay, I was just double checking that I have the right keybind. I'll leave my infantry CV back here. Let's see. Oh, it feels weird playing this game after so long. I guess I'll go Charlie. C1. Yeah, I'll take an automatic. I want a mortar. I'm gonna have to deal with, so let's take one of those as well. Let's drop the Ariete for now and take another one of these. Milan and points then being left unspent. Oh, this should be fun. And also I'm just going to be staring at that enemy base as I move my stuff, because I do not want to get smirched or have some other sort of MLRS hit me in the face. Good luck, have fun. I don't know why I put space in there. Something I've done for just every now and then. Also, it's 50 minutes instead of 40. Oh look, the Scandinavian player brought a fob with a beacon. Of course. As you do. Can't wait to suck so bad. It's gonna be funny. So rusty at this game. Okay. The other two players both brought fobs and I didn't. Now I feel like I'm a freeloader when it comes to the supply when I don't have a fob. Even though 2 fobs in a 3v3 is perfectly reasonable.
Qualcuno ha chiamato un taxi? Ci spostiamo.
Speriamo non ci siano difese antiaeree nemiche.
Nulla da segnalare. Un passaggio?
Ci intrupoliamo.
L17K.
Dove ha bisogno di noi, signore?
J's land, right? No, it's K's land.
Gli esploratori sono pronti, signore. Hai notato qualcosa?
L'artiglieria aggiunge dignità a quella che altrimenti sarebbe una volgare lista. Siamo in azione.
Spread these guys out so I'm not gonna all get whacked by one missile. Oh, Gazelle going around.
Li stiamo raggiungendo, sì.
They're fast, so catching it could be annoying.
Il capitano e il suo equipaggio
This guy's
vi
back
danno
for
il
now.
benvenuto
Let's
a
go be
bordo.
aggressive with that.
Pronti a sparare, signore.
Ci hanno individuato.
Alright, the Hera-2 beat the A109. That's unfortunate. Oh yeah, it's taking way too long for that thing to aim.
Chiudo.
And the rate of fire on that is pretty high as well.
Vai avanti, passo. Hai notato qualcosa?
Let's just shop these guys over. Get a Fiat in there. Let's get another recon heal out over here. There we go. Augusta took care of that one.
Nulla da segnalare. Hai qualcosa per me? Qualche cliente per una corsa in taxi?
Ci intrupoliamo.
Alright, took care of that.
Voliamo.
Qualche cliente per una corsa in taxi?
Hai notato qualcosa?
So you can make pressed hard in the middle. You do have +2 ticking on us, which is less than preferable. That means it is up to me.
Cosa può fare la fanteria per lei, signore?
You can get cover.
Creeremo un nuovo punto di osservazione. Il capitano.
Set the supply truck up before. Let's see if he's going to fly within range. Oh, there was a visible. Oh, but he got baited.
Segnalare.
Rico got, or B1 Central Rico got destroyed. Teammates surrendered already, that's delightful.
Si riduce sempre al fante e al suo fucile.
Sì, signore.
Okay, someone's got eyes from over there.
Il plotone è formato e pronto.
Alright, I caught it a B1. Oh, whatever, another B1 won't hurt.
Gli esploratori sono pronti, signore. Preparo una nuova postazione anticarro.
Sputi il rosso.
Ricevuto, signore. Arriviamo.
Up. Better can move up. There we go, we ready. Oh, but I moved my vehicles in first because I wasn't paying attention.
Inchiodate
They're
quei
catching out
bastardi.
in the open now.
Un buon esploratore è un esploratore morto. Così si dice.
There we go, alright.
Qualcuno ha bisogno di un angelo?
Let's just call another supply truck.
Sta parlando con me.
Che cosa vuole questa volta?
Portagliela a vedere, ragazzi.
So let's get a AS up.
In
Oh,
attesa di
already
istruzioni.
bought one? Oh, okay, didn't even notice. Oh, probably from the guy who surrendered. Okay. Oh boy.
Sta parlando con me.
È sicuro lì?
Let's just stop you. So we leave out on the border. Far back now. Also, let's get more line infantry. JH7.
Pronti a sparare, signore. Comando, ripetete. Aumento.
Di noi sareste ciechi.
Open, which is less than preferable.
È un onore servire sotto il suo comando.
Quali sono i suoi ordini, signore? Qualche ordine, signore?
Aspettiamo solo che qualche bersaglio passi di lì
No
e
rage on
poi...
that.
Ho bisogno di controllare il rotore di coda.
Sta parlando con me?
So they got another CV in.
Lì creeremo un nuovo punto di osservazione.
Found the Strela team. Zandigler? I don't know.
Qualsiasi cosa
Also
voli,
these
noi la
guys.
portiamo giù.
Should relocate. We need to relocate as well.
Un buon esploratore è un esploratore morto. Così si dice.
I also
Qual è il
don't like.
piano?
Let's try that.
Qualcuno ha chiamato un taxi?
Se lo dice lei, signore.
I have way too many points built up. My teammate over here does not seem to be able to cope. Then again, I'm not being a very good teammate. Oh, hello, Gamma.
Ho bisogno di
Quartetto.
controllare il rotore di coda. Riposizionarsi il più velocemente possibile.
Sì, signore. Qualsiasi cosa voli, noi la portiamo giù.
Okay, they got the Fiesta life. Automatic's been spotted and is currently being shot at.
Sapevo che non ci avresti lasciato inattivi.
Pronti a sparare, signore.
So, yeah, they have high AP, so it's only a matter of time before they got it.
Pronti a sparare, signore.
Vai avanti, passo.
Ci spostiamo.
Qualcosa
Really forgot to turn this thing on. Front.
Pronti a muovere, signore.
Dove volete che sia consegnato? Aiuto!
Let's get here.
Consegna fresca in arrivo. Hai notato qualcosa? Signor, sì, signore. In attesa di istruzioni.
Let's leave that on for now.
Sta parlando con me? Avete bisogno di un po' di potenza di fuoco in più?
Ah, it's a tornado. Goodbye.
Azione!
They're taking a +1 again because they've counter-captured golf.
Parlami cosa?
He's only got one bomb off. That's powder branching too.
Pronto?
Can you turn? Thank you.
Qualche obiettivo?
Finalmente un po' di azione!
Okay, I got a lot of stuff built up here that
Ai
needs to
suoi
move up.
ordini, signore. Qualche cliente per una corsa in taxi?
I don't want to do. I got
Considera.
J7H. Okay. Automatic is spotted. I don't like that.
Gli esploratori sono pronti, signore. Qualsiasi cosa voli, noi la portiamo giù. Qui.
Hello, what are you?
Stiamo facendo una ricognizione di quest'area. Hai notato qualcosa? Gli esploratori sono pronti, signore. Che cosa vuole questa volta? Un buon esploratore è un esploratore morto, così si dice.
Al suo servizio, signore.
Let's see where you go.
Ricevuto, ci riposizioniamo, chiudo. Un buon esploratore è un esploratore morto, così si dice. Gli esploratori sono pronti, signore.
Okay.
Stiamo facendo una ricognizione di quest'area.
Quali sono i suoi ordini, signore?
Stiamo facendo una ricognizione di quest'area. Aiuto! Hai notato qualcosa?
I'm gonna move this guy up.
Avete bisogno di un passaggio?
You need to get back into cover. That's not well managed on my part. I need to make it happen, these guys.
Diamo loro un po' di tempo.
Senza di noi sareste certi. Da lì potremo vedere meglio.
Fai qualcosa per me? aggiornamento?
One hit.
Alcuni
Oh,
apprezzano gli
don't
astili.
go balls deep with that guy.
Gli esploratori sono pronti, sì. Sì, signore.
Duh.
Qualche ora?
I think you need to stop floating so many points.
Qualsiasi cosa vuoi, noi la portiamo giù.
Sapevo che non ci avresti lasciato inattivi allora.
Siamo ingaggiati!
Got my CV. Less than preferable.
Buon esploratore è un esploratore morto, così si dice.
So that's too far back.
Missile in posizione di tiro, signore!
Let's not sacrifice that. Oh, too late. He's been sacrificed.
Da lì potremo vedere meglio. Gli esploratori sono pronti, signore.
Keep forgetting I'm spawning from the right there.
Pensano al mio stile di volo.
So I have
Utilizzando
8
il
tow-twos. Let's put them to
riferimento
use.
di griglia indicato.
Missile in posizione di tiro, signore! Ci dia solo le coordinate. Stiamo arrivando.
Checklist completata. Pronti a partire.
Pronti a sparare, signori. Vai avanti, passo.
Yep, that's just a bad position on my part. I'm just not paying attention.
Ci intrupoliamo.
Those guys up. Right up.
rock and roll.
One of these guys.
Che cosa vuole questa volta?
Ci hanno individuato.
Just failing a little.
Ci intrupoliamo.
Centaurs are quite nice though. Can't
Chi
confirm.
vuole che trasportiamo? Accelerate, abbiamo fretta.
Oh, hello? What is that?
Hai qualcosa
Is
per
that
me?
cluster munitions falling upon me? It is. Delightful.
Comandante, eseguite o toglietevi dal cazzo.
Divisione di trasporto pronta a soddisfare tutti i vostri desideri.
Ai suoi ordini, signore. Il nemico è a tiro, blocchiamo il tiro. Comando, ripetete. Chi vuole che trasportiamo? Qualcuno ha chiamato un taxi? Avete bisogno di un passaggio?
Miss. Yeah, accuracy on the Spada is kind of underwhelming. I've been finding not reliable enough to stop even low-end bombers like that J8 or J7H. Also, that's if I actually fix my guys who got clustered. Feeling shaky. Oh, out of reach.
Portiamo l'artiglieria pesante, signore. Nulla da segnalare.
See if I can move these guys up. Stop you there. There we go. Now, what's the minimum range of this? We actually need to move this a little further back. So everybody likes the napalm rockets. Oh, clusters falling on the base by the looks of it. Probably the beacon about to get counter batteried.
Quali sono i suoi ordini, signore? Ci hanno individuato.
The beacon has been counter battered. Lost the sight amp. Move.
Inizia a diventare pericoloso.
Let's move that back before they get rerolled.
Aiuto!
Ci hanno individuato. Hai notato qualcosa?
No, not the Mangusta. Not the Mangusta.
Alcuni apprezzano il stile di ci hanno individuato.
Look, another automatic is needed.
Hai qualcosa per me? Sto acquisendo il bersaglio.
Lost some things. Can I get the Fibo? Hey, and I do. And I lost the tornado. Rip.
Sicura!
Pronti a colpirmi, signore.
Oh my god, I'm not paying attention to these guys.
Ci hanno individuato.
Thought I sent. No, I sent up the wrong thing.
Hai notato qualcosa?
Never mind me, I'm just falling apart because I'm forgetting to actually buy units.
Ci spostiamo. Questa non è esattamente una Ferrari, sa?
Oh.
In attesa di nuovi ordini, signore. Sta parlando con me. Vai avanti, passo. Se il nemico è a tiro, lo siamo anche noi.
Another glorious defeat for me coming up.
Gli esploratori sono pronti, signore. Avete bisogno di un po' di potenza di fuoco in più. Hai notato qualcosa? Noi, signore.
Tornado. Where's my tornado? Oh, SU-27 SK. That could be a problem. Indeed, it was a problem. Keep forgetting to have this guy, but now I need to push it. Have to pull it back even more. Remember to control this guy, right?
Ci stiamo muovendo, signore.
Yeah, stop you right there.
Qualcuno ha chiamato un taxi?
Razzi carichi, signore.
Oh no, I'm gonna lose my tornado probably. Yeah, they got a bunch of AA in there. Less than preferable.
In attesa di nuovi ordini, signore.
Le piace la musica da balletto, signore?
Holy fuck. The minimum range on this is actually getting kind of annoying.
Stia mettendo le nostre vite in pericolo.
Sputi il rospo.
Volete che suoniamo l'organo?
Cannoni controllati e pronti.
Razzi carichi, signore. Il plotone è tornato.
Sputi il rospo.
I forgot I had these guys over here.
Siamo ingaggiati! Hai qualcosa per me?
Ci hanno individuato.
Siamo ingaggiati!
I need another automatic because I wasted my last one. Also not making very good use of my
Siamo in azione.
mortar here. It's actually getting shot at the moment. Less than preferable.
Hai qualcosa per me?
I forgot to turn your weapons off, so you're giving your position away.
Stiamo facendo una ricognizione di quest'area.
Quali sono i suoi ordini, signore?
Buon
So,
esploratore.
this
È un
guy is
esploratore morto.
here.
Così si dice. Di trasporto pronta a soddisfare tutti i vostri desideri.
Pronti a sparare, signore.
Need smoke, right?
Hai qualcosa per me?
Goddamn, so I'm just playing really
Vai
sloppily.
avanti, passo.
Hey, it's the boss rocket test. I was wondering where I was going to see that.
Sì, signore.
Oh, Leroy's still alive. We're still alive.
Signore.
Anyway, the B1 Shintaro, quite nice. Can confirm. Here. There. Can you see me? No, they just got it.
Finalmente un po' di azione. Finalmente
Yeah,
un
there's
po'
a
di
man that's causing
azione.
trouble earlier. down.
È stato avvistato un elicottero nemico. Finalmente un po' di azione.
Never underestimate the power of cheap bombers. Also, let's not drive to the smoke, maybe. Or the fires.
Vai avanti, passo.
Se il nemico è a tiro, lo siamo anche noi.
Oh, look at there. Something that killed me. Yeah, that's that position there.
Inizia a diventare pericoloso.
Stunned. Whereas panicked. If only I had my own thing that could do mass panicking and stunning.
Balleranno al nostro ritmo.
I used to like right on top of the level, so it's just not slightly in the wrong position, I guess.
Watch out.
Oh, I didn't micro my AA whatsoever for that fight. I was just gonna eat my lunch.
Sapevo che non ci avresti lasciato in attività.
Oh, hey, they got my CV.
Andiamocene da qui.
Does the Ghibli make it out? It does. Go me. Anyway, that was very poor play on my part.
Noi la portiamo giù.
Can't wait to see how bad my losses were. Whatever, it's gonna be over in like a minute or so.
Aspettiamo i suoi ordini, signore.
Ha bisogno di altri occhi, signore.
Yes, yeah, I might as well get another CV. Also, infantry, that's a thing that exists in this game and is generally good to have. It's trying to put stuff there. And that's game. GG. Yeah, that's terrible. That teammate is actually positive. I was just falling apart there. Kind of from the second half onwards. Just bad micro, bad. Just keep. Also kept forgetting to buy units. That guy's floating like 1,000 points there at times. Not using units very well as well. Units particularly well. Also didn't help that that teammate left right at the beginning. I don't know what the hell was that. With some people, I don't know. Maybe something came up, or maybe they're just one of those people where they have a plan in the opener, and as soon as the enemy does something, because you know, no plan survives first contact with the enemy, they go, "Oh, my plan didn't work. Gotta leave." But yeah, OF40 automatic, yeah, it's working pretty well. It's less fragile than the Danish one. Still fragile though. It's only 6 frontal armor. The infantry does just fine. Obviously, lack of IFE is disappointing, but you know their 5-pointers are still good. The Spada, or how that's pronounced? Yeah, Spide. Yeah, not good. Not very good. Not liking it. Also wasn't microing it very well. I had it too far back a lot of the times, and also just wasn't bothered with my radar micro, so the seat kept whacking it. Probably would have been better off with Hawks, who knows. The Sidehand 25, like that's actually quite nice. Just spams ground units down really well at close range. And it's not doesn't do a lot of damage against planes or helicopters, I noticed. But it stuns them really well. That's a lot of low-end SPAGs, but still a lot of low-end SPAGs. So that the tanks, like the 40 and Mark III is decent enough for its price. I'm definitely liking the B1 Shintaros. It's nice having the cheap shock with the motto. Komsuben, I did not use them very well. So they didn't perform well for me in this match, but I just wasn't using them. I just wasn't microing them properly. A11 Ghibli, like, yeah, it's nice. I like it. Oh yeah, the one Rico in the middle. Leopard 182 Rico's also nice. Just cheap scout tanks. Like, they're nice. I like them. Oh, there's Senke in those Gazellas. That makes sense. Try and do some sneaky breaky. Yeah, I just... First of all, I fell into lane mentality in that match. I was just constantly pushing down, just focusing on narrow lanes. Didn't really help my ally very much. Oh, hey, the Feudal Sturdy got the QW1. That's funny. And a Tanke. Sesha. Oh, yeah. No, overall, it seems like Italy's a decent standalone. At least for a team game. But then again, in team games, you have a bit more leeway compared to a 1v1, where if you have a capability gap, you're going to notice it more in a 1v1. But you know what? Italy doesn't really have any significant capability gaps. You think about 1v1s. Or actually, let's just look at my deck. Like, they don't have a 10-second artillery piece. You know, 10-second 155mm howitzer, which is not a huge shortcoming. Like, it's definitely you're definitely going to notice it in some situations, especially larger team games. But in a 1v1, that's a little bit less relevant. They don't have a proper super heavy. They just have the C1 Ariete, which is kind of fragile with only the 5 side armor. What did it say? 6 side armor. So that's probably pretty low for its price range. I think most tanks, once you get to 150 plus points, you're looking at 7 frontal or 7 side armor. I also didn't use in this match. I was just using the F40s because, which I think was that was definitely the better choice, just because it was very close range, and it just didn't really need that high end or that higher end tank. But also, this has the same gun stats as the C1 Ariete. Yeah, it's Leopard. Or is it? No, that has worse gun stats. This has that looks like slightly worse Leopard 2 stats. Because I think Leopard 2 is 65 and 60, or is it 65 and 55 and 19? If only there was an armory I could look at to check the stats. Leopard 2 A4. Yeah, so we'll just... That's slightly worse stabilizers than a Leopard 2 A4. And you know what? Like, that's a good gun for that price. Like obviously it pays for it by having... you know, its armor's not very good, but it's an 85 point tank. What do you expect? What is it? You compare it to something like, yeah, C2 Mexis. 40 Mark III. C2 Mexis. So they're both 85 points. And it has, you know, worse rate of fire, but it has the same accuracy and stabs. Slightly worse armor for the same price. That's also a little bit faster as well. But yeah, like that's like, you know, 85 point tank. Has worse top armor and back armor than the... Like, it's just slightly worse armored overall. Like, to the point where I think you could probably bump the OF40 Mark III to 90 points, and that'll probably be slightly more balanced than it is at 85 points. But at 85 points, it's pretty good. I'm trying to think what tank would... how's it compared to the M84A? Yeah. But yeah, like it's a gun that compares to tanks that are more expensive than it. How about the M1 Wilk? Poland. And it's much better. Yeah, one more AP, much better accuracy and stabs. Same rate of fire, but M1 Wilk is auto-loaded. Obviously, Wilk has better armor. You know, it's trade-offs. Yeah. I don't know, I think that overall, yeah, Italy seems to be a solid deck. I'm liking it more than South Africa. South Africa's just never meshed with me when I tried to play it. And it's not like South Africa's bad. It's just awkward. It's weird. Very moto heavy. You know, basically, I don't even think it has any tracked transports, which also just makes its deck building weird, so you don't, for how it works with mech and armored. Oh yeah. I also love how what is it? South Africa gets two different versions of the Leopard 2 at home. You have this thing, and then the Logum. Oh boy. If I recall correctly, IRL, the Logum only had a 105mm gun fit to it, but also it was a tech demonstrator that never really went anywhere because the Cold War ended. Which is the story of many things. Cold War ended. Alright, let's go home. We're not going to design all this cool new stuff anymore. No one's going to buy it. Like, that's why Denmark has the automatic, is that this is something that Denmark was looking at IRL. And then the Cold War ended, so it was like, well, there's no real point in looking at this anymore. So they never actually bought it. And now we have the OF-40 automatic. Fun times. Do I want to play another match? What time is it? It is almost 1 a.m. where I am. I don't know. I think I'll call it here. I maybe might stream again this weekend, depending on how I feel. Until then, I don't know. Yeah, I guess I'll just end it here. So yeah, I might catch you guys, well, see you guys at some point in the future, might be this weekend. Till then, I'm XanderTuron, and you guys take care and have a lovely day.